At the moment, every week feels like a slow week, and the pressure on Braam to meet our deadline is very real. It is only a few long heartbeats to go until we reveal our completed Meraai to the rest of the world. This week, that long heartbeat almost stops when things appear to go pear-shaped. It is a new week, it is a new day. And I really hope that our challenges are getting less and less as we creep ever closer to our launch date. Our launch date is now the 29th of July. And yeah, I'm going large, hey? I'll probably go live on YouTube when we get to that date. But yeah, things are moving along nicely. And I just want to show you something. Looky here, man. This, I'll show you some close-ups now, is a leather-covered steering wheel, the original steering wheel from our bus that our mate Smoo has just covered in leather. What I really like about this steering wheel is that it's not perfect, and it's like everything on Meraai. When you have guys doing real customized stuff, often work that they haven't done before, you're going to have little flaws, and it's those little flaws to me that make everything about this vehicle so appealing. And one more thing, I have a mini Meraai, and I'm going to be towing my mini Meraai at times behind our big Meraai, and I have decided to go the route of putting her on a trailer. I've seen all these A-frame things and I've seen the debates. I just feel a lot better with my vehicle on a trailer. I've got the heavy-duty license, so there shouldn't be any issues there. But yeah, it is something else I have to consider, either getting made or finding one to buy. And that is a 1.5 ton braked trailer. Let's go inside, see what's up. We put the steering wheel in its place and also put our driver's seat into position to see how everything works together. And everything is looking fan-frickin-tastic. The rugged truck seats we bought really do work well. The seat, along with our dash, is a marriage made in heaven. The layout of our driver's cab and the seat position is slowly coming together. As one part of the vehicle is completed, then the guys can start and do adjustments and fitting of other parts. But I'm going to have to wait a little bit longer until my petite butt graces that driver's seat. One of our regular viewers brought up quite an interesting point, and that is that of little rats. I'm not talking about politicians, I'm talking about rats, rodents and little mice getting into the vehicle and munching all your electronic components and gaining access through the vents. Now, luckily all the boxes here have got a mesh over them, so hopefully that will stop these little critters getting inside. But I do know in places like the Kalahari it is a massive problem, and Oaks use all sorts of methods to keep the cute little furry creatures away from destroying their engines. Early the next morning, when I arrived at East Coast Scratch and Dent, I noticed a strange contraption on Chris's workbench. Finally, the guys have moved from the inside to the outside and have started to assemble the whole nose. You can see the radiator is back, the intercooler is back, and then one realized that there is no little pipe coming from where the oil goes into the sump to a filling spot. So Chris has had to come up with finding the pathway for a pipe to dodge all the moving parts in the engine and have a easily accessible filling point somewhere here. It really did not take the metalwork maestro a long time to find a workable solution. This is a massive puzzle, and Chris finds all the missing pieces. It is Wednesday, the hump day, middle of the week. I've just popped into East Coast Scratch and Dent to see how things are moving here, but it's also to meet up with a lady who is going to be doing something quite special for us, and I'm going to say nothing more about it because she is going to be helping us put some of the va-va-voom into our launch on the 29th of July. Just around the corner, man. No pressure on Braam at all. This is Elvira and Angie. Elvira and Angie are going to help us put a bit of spice into our launch on the 29th of July. That is an episode you do not want to miss. Mariki gave the two girls a quick tour of Meraai to get their creative juices flowing. But that is in the future. Let's get back to the now. So our midweek challenge is coming in the form of rubber. Yeah, not rubber we want to burn, just rubber. The stuff that I got doesn't work at all. So now the rubber lady, Vilma, is on her way to help sort us out, because I do not want dust, water, mice, creepy crawlies, snakes, you know, little nasties like that. I don't want them inside Meraai. Nah. I cannot stress just how important this part of our build is. Rubber lady Vilma knows her stuff.
Dit lyk regtig mooi. Die wat ons nou gesny het en so. Dit is nie nodig om oor te stres nie.
If we do not choose the best fitting rubber seals, we will be in a world of pain when we hit the dusty roads and plains of Africa. There are so many different types of rubber seals, and each works in a certain way. Our main access door needs particular attention when it comes to seals. The door opens inwards, and that in itself makes things a wee bit more challenging. But never fear when Rubber Girl is near. Vilma leaves with a new list of rubber seals that will be delivered next week. Thursday morning, week is almost gone. And what the guys are busy working on is this innocuous looking bit of square tubing. Now, that is actually part of the mechanism we are going to be using on our table. I saw that most motorhomes and vehicles have like a round circular base with a hole in the middle with a upright pole in it, and that forms the base of the table. We want this table to be able to move out the way relatively easy, and Braam and Chris have decided they want a system where you're not kicking that thing that's on the floor, and so when the table's not there, you're not going to trip over it all the time. So they've got the square tubing which slides into one of my storage boxes, and then there's got a bracket with the table on top. Sounds very complicated, so I will bring you more visuals when we get to that stage. Yeah, I have no idea how it's going to work. To try and make some sense of how the system will work, I took a peek at what Chris was busy doing. The square tube I saw a short while ago is now a slider that moves in and out of one of our storage bins.
Yeah. So what I want to do is I want to put a little leg underneath the little things with the rubber. So when you lift it up, you slide it in, and it stays there.
Chris tried to explain things to me, but I am still in the dark. Best I wait until it is completed, because at the moment I have my doubts regarding how solid this table will be. Chris then shifted his attention to the assembly and bits and pieces needed for Meraai's engine. The spectacular turbo, radiator and intercooler pipes are all finalized and in place. Another element of the reconstruction or assembly of the front part of the vehicle is our whole hooking up of our power steering, and I've spent the morning running around having stuff made. High pressure cables and a whole lot of other McGafters which I was given, and Chris is going to start assembling these. To see if this orchestra can play together, only one more thing is needed. Okay, it's Thursday afternoon. Chris has been assembling this the front of the engine all day. Our radiator's connected, the intercooler's connected, all other little babies are connected. Now all that remains is a little test. Turn the key and make sure everything is cool. The automatic transmission fluid well is topped up and the pipes are bled. Then Braam flicks the key.
There's air in the system.
As the engine runs, the air in the system is slowly forced out. The power steering pump works like a dream. The engine needs to keep running to burn off any excess oil. This engine sounds incredible. There was a few little squawks in that, but there was air in the system that's gone now. She really is running beautifully. A few of you were concerned that we had not removed the bits of plastic off the intercooler. Well, you can now rest easy. We then killed the engine to do the next test. Now that was, we turned the key, we didn't even touch the accelerator. So that's turning the key and she ticks over, immediately starts to idle. It's so sweet, man. Then we needed to make sure we could flick through all the gears while the engine is running. It was round about now that the bubble began to burst. All was not well. The gears were not changing. The gear shift is not smooth. It's not easy, and at this late stage of the game, that makes me, almost nauseous. I was worried.
Keep it so it doesn't
Very worried.
But it needs to select.
So it's not selecting gears?
I'm not getting it to go, but I don't want to force it either.
Okay. So this is not good news. I don't even know if this thing has ever been tested. And as I said earlier, I was feeling nauseous. Now I actually just want to vomit. Chris had made some tweaks, but the selector was still not selecting the gears. Well, I think that is my cue to make a sexual departure and F off. I can't actually stay here. I just heard Braam saying they need to check that there is oil in the diff, which is a damn good idea, because I can remember draining that probably 18 months, 2 years ago, and then seeing what's going on with the gearbox. But I am out of here. Braam saw I was freaked out and he tried to calm me down. Braam was just saying to me that the gearbox has stood for a long time and needs to turn over a little bit so that all the oil can obviously coat all the gears. And I really hope that is the case. But I'm having frickin' palpitations here. Time to go home, clap a few whiskies. The next morning I was greeted by a spinning rear wheel and a happy smiley Braam. Braam, late yesterday, I was a little bit worried when I saw what was going on. I thought, this gearbox.
Yeah.
What have you done this morning?
Well, look, we put gearbox oil, we put the diff oil, new diff oil. Obviously it was standing for quite a while, so everything is a little bit sticky. So we're in the bus idle now that all the new oils go through and all the gears are working and that it's getting into action again. But it sounds good, it's coming better and better and better, so I don't foresee any problem at the moment.
Friday morning and the guys are hard at work sorting out that whole gearbox issue. Mariki and I have popped down here just to check things out. What I did when I got home yesterday, and this is the advantage of me filming everything, it was almost a year to the day that we opened that gearbox. When we opened it, everything looked good, it worked fine, engine pit checked it out. The only issue was there was a bit of rust on the inside, which the guy said they were going to clean up. Pit now tells me everything is fine, but it's very sticky in gears 1 and 2. So they're actually going to just open up the plate and check that, make some adjustments just to loosen up those gears. But I'm not as freaked out as I was yesterday. Now also see we've got off-grid Donald here who's fiddling around in our box. And obviously if the engine's running he can start to test stuff. So let's see what he's up to. What you checking here?
I'm trying to see if the alternator is pushing voltage through to the charger to charge up the battery while running. And we've got good indication already. It's telling me it's doing something.
While the alternator is sending a charge through, it is not as high as it should be and what Donald would like.
Okay, so the alternator is pushing 14.2 volts to here, but my output is less. So we'll have to figure out a way to tune it up to give it more out.
Off-grid Donald has done an amazing job on our inverter and shore power systems. Hopefully after a few final adjustments we will be good to go. Inside Maraai, Braam and Chris are doing some open heart surgery on our big girl. Chris is loosening up our first and second gears that are far too tight. The mistake that was made is that way back then in June 2022, that gearbox was not serviced. So yeah, everything inside is all really gunked up. Hopefully, after this service, we will have a fully functioning smooth gearbox. I must say that I am feeling a teensy-weensy bit better about the state of things. And that's it for this week. Another week, poof, gone. Few heart-stopping moments, but progress is, once again, slow and steady, but it is progress. Just my little rant when I'm closing. Just a message to all these owns and ONSs who drive their vehicles and they sit right on your ass. I'm talking right on your ass. When that happens to me, my vehicle suddenly cannot go past 60 kilometers an hour. It just cannot. And if you flash your lights, there seems to be a reaction between that and my foot on the gas, because then the vehicle can only go 40 kilometers an hour. So yeah, back off, brew and brewers. Do not sit on my ass. Anyway, you're going to kill somebody when you do it. It's just really bad driving. But yeah, that's it. That's my rant. We will see you next week. We are creeping very, very close to our big reveal, which is happening on the 29th of July. And we are planning something very lekker, very special. Those two ladies who were here earlier this week are part of that something special. All right, and just in closing, please guys, really be alert at home. We had a really nasty home invasion in our little village, and you can really, with all the bells and whistles for security, the only thing that you can really do to help keep yourself alive is be really alert. And anything you notice that is out of the ordinary, let your security company know. Be alert when you get home from work and your vehicle at the gate. Please, these bastards who are out there are watching, and they prey on people who are not aware of what's going on around them. So please, look after your families, look after your possessions, look after yourselves, and just really keep safe. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You will find us under A Dream Called Meraai. Until next time, keep your dreams alive.